What if I told you that some years don't just pass by, they arrive to change everything? Not quietly, not politely, but with the kind of force that makes history stop, turn around, and pay attention. Because 2026 isn't just another year on the calendar. It's the year K-culture reminds the world who built the stage. For a long time, people asked the same question again and again. Has the peak passed? Can it happen again? Can lightning really strike twice? And the answer is coming. Not in words, but in sound, in footsteps echoing through stadiums, in voices that once carried doubt and now carry destiny. Let's talk about waiting. Because no one understands waiting like BTS and the people who love them. 4 years. 4 years since 7 voices last stood together on one album. 4 years filled with separation, military duty, solo journeys, private struggles made public, and moments where even the strongest bonds were tested. When RM admitted he once thought about disbandment, it shook the air. Not because it was weakness, but because it was honest. Because it reminded everyone that behind the symbols and statistics are real people, carrying impossible expectations. And yet they stayed. They grew separately. They learned who they were alone. And now they're choosing each other again. Let's make 2026 the year of BTS. Not a slogan, a declaration. The album, already finished, then rewritten. Then rewritten again. Not because it wasn't good enough, but because they know what this moment means. This isn't just a comeback, it's a return after survival, and the world feels it. A song released in 2018 suddenly climbs charts in 75 countries. Anpanman, old, familiar, unstoppable. No promotion, no push, just millions of people pressing play as if saying, "We never left." That kind of response doesn't come from hype, it comes from trust built over time. But this return isn't wrapped in perfection. Rumors swirl, protests happen, tension with the agency becomes visible. Apologies are issued. Some fans worry, others defend. The conversation grows louder. And maybe that's exactly why this era matters. Because BTS isn't returning as an untouchable myth. They're returning as men who cracked, questioned everything, and still chose to stand together. When they step back on stage, likely in stadiums so large they look unreal from above, it won't just be a concert. It will feel like a homecoming. And while one legend rises again, another moves with quiet, devastating confidence. BLACKPINK. 4 years without a full group album, and yet not a single year out of relevance. They didn't disappear. They expanded. They conquered individually, then circled back stronger. Now the pieces are locking into place. A new album, a world tour that keeps growing, and Wembley Stadium, once considered unreachable, now a memory already written. Standing there wasn't just about numbers. It was symbolic. A K-pop girl group alone in one of the most legendary venues in music history. And still, they're not done. Rosé stands at the edge of a door no K-pop artist has walked through before. 3 Grammy nominations. Categories that define careers. The question isn't talent. Everyone knows that answer. The real question is, will the industry finally acknowledge what fans have known for years? Around her, the others shine just as fiercely. Jennie's album earns critical acclaim from Western media that once dismissed idols. Lisa takes major awards on global stages, unapologetically herself. Jisoo charts on Billboard as a soloist, proving softness and strength can coexist. Together, BLACKPINK isn't just returning, they're solidifying their legacy. And then, like an echo from the foundation of K-pop itself, BIGBANG steps forward. 20 years. In an industry that moves fast and forgets faster, that number is almost unreal. This isn't nostalgia for BIGBANG, it's endurance. When G-Dragon talks about a coming-of-age ceremony, he's not talking about youth. He's talking about survival, scars, and still having something left to say. Coachella is waiting, the world is watching, and BIGBANG isn't asking for permission to exist. They never did. EXO joins the wave too, preparing a long-awaited full album, reminding everyone that longevity isn't an accident. It's earned. But 2026 isn't only about legends reclaiming their crowns. It's about what happens because they return. Rookie groups line up at the starting gate, survival show winners, carefully trained teams, new names waiting for a market that's about to explode with attention again. When giants move, the ground beneath them shifts, and new voices rise. Beyond music, K-dramas continue their quiet domination, familiar stories reborn from webtoons and novels, beloved actors stepping into roles designed not just for Korea, but for the world. Streaming platforms become bridges, not barriers. And then there's Busan. Next July, something unprecedented happens. Korea hosts the UNESCO World Heritage Committee for the first time. Thousands of delegates, culture, history, identity converging in one place. This isn't entertainment, it's recognition. K-culture isn't a passing wave anymore. It's something the world is learning to preserve. So when people ask, is this the peak? Can it last? Look at the timing. Look at the courage it took to come back. Not at the height of comfort, but after doubt, after silence, after fear. 2026 isn't about proving K-culture can go global. That question is already answered. This year is about something deeper. Belonging, legacy, and the quiet, powerful decision to rise again, together. Because when artists who once carried the entire industry on their shoulders return not out of obligation, but conviction, the world doesn't just listen, it remembers.